Hello, hello, we're back, and today I'm gonna be doing my guide on Elphelt. I've decided to do an Elphelt guide right now because I think she is in the best spot she's been in a while. Also, I don't think we're gonna get a patch for a while, and if she gets changed, I don't imagine it will be too drastic. I don't think she'll get nerfed. If anything, she'll probably get some buffs, but I can't imagine it will be too many. She is in an okay spot. I don't think she's like too overpowering or anything like that. Like she's really good when she's like right in your face in the wreckers start, but when she's like just in the neutral herself, I just think if you make the neutral too egregious, then I think she'll become a problem. And she's already really annoying when she's here. Like if you make the neutral battle, you'll have to make this worse. And then who knows? Like she does this well, is what I'm trying to say. She's very standard. She's a 5-star character, so she isn't like too complex to pick up. Her combos are easy. Her setups are easy. Everything she does is pretty simple. To be honest, if there is more complicated stuff, I didn't even bother learning it because the basic stuff is so easy. So there's no point. So yeah, I'm gonna just sort of like go over everything I know about the character, and kind of like see it as like a beginner guide. And towards the end, I'll probably go to more advanced type stuff, but it's not really advanced. It's just I mean, it's just not as easy as the standard stuff, but it's more like to do with a bomb super or anything like that, because that's probably as complex as she gets, if I'm honest. Like you have to kind of know certain things about how to like safely go into Rekka, but other than that, because once people know how to deal with this is a good one. Like, it's a really bad string to do. I'll explain why later. But you don't want to do this as an Elphelt player because like this feels like natural to do because like this is like close slash into 2HS is like her one of her BNBs, but you don't want to do this in a block string just because um, this can get beat quite easily. But like so that's an unsafe way to go into Rekka. But there'll be I'll go into that into the Rekka part. But yeah, yeah, I'll start off with her now. So, Elphelt's changed a lot from Rev 2. She's no longer the character she used to be. She's essentially like a brand new character. She has some identities she used to have, but it's a bit different now. She's like a Rekka Rushdown character, whereas before she was more of a stance style character. So she still has heavy mix-ups though. Obviously, everyone knows she has her mix-ups with her Rekka. Which obviously high or low. This is unreactable. There's like, once you're in this situation, there's literally nothing you can do. You have to accept. Well, once this hits, you have to accept. That's it. So that your goal as Elphelt is to get up in their face. It's not too hard. Some matchups it's really easy. Some matchups it's very difficult. The guns she has are not good for zoning, but they're more good for harassing. These are really good against like two-step characters like Jacko or Chaos or Johnny. Yeah, Johnny as well. Any character has to set something up. Your main goal with Elphelt should be just start blasting with this. Be annoying. Obviously, if they're like in the mid screen, don't do it here because like it's really you'll get punished. But like, if you're back up here, you can do a jump. You can delay and do that. And obviously, if they're jumping, the idea of delaying is if they jump, the tracking on this is kind of slow. So then it would track. Obviously, this one hits straight away, but the tracking starts later. For this one, the tracking starts straight away. A lot earlier. So this is kind of the one you want to use, like, if you're just, like, trying to pester people. Because the explosion hits them a lot sooner. But if you want to, like, if they're, like, jumping back and stuff and you want to delay one, you do that one. This one's better for, like, setups and stuff. But I'll go into it. So this is what you want to do against, like, two-step characters. So you don't get too obvious. Some characters are really good at dealing with it. But, like, this should be, like, your goal against you. But the characters that you don't want to use this on, that you can kind of harass. You want to try and get in as easy as you can. And that should be your goal, really. Like, two-step characters, wipe out their, like, whatever they're setting, then push them into the, like, basically push them towards the corner, and then start doing your Rekka. So that's kind of like her game plan, is just getting into the Rekka situation. And there's many ways to kind of do that. She has this one, this move here. I call it Bridal, but I think it's called Out of Repair in this game. But it's essentially just Bridal Express from the last game. At a certain distance, this becomes plus. I think it's about one backdash away. Let's see. So you want to use 2p though. You don't want to really use anything like close slash because if they're on, firstly if they use a close slash, you're gonna blow them up. But like you don't want to like rely on that too much. Yeah, it's like one backdash space, or you can just walk 2 steps back. But it comes plus. But if you do it in their face, you'll get punished. They can also grab you if you do it in their face. It's -6. So you don't want to do this like right in their face. You only want to do this in their face if you are, obviously, have meter. This is a really good way to get in with when you have meter. So one thing you want to do when you have meter, and there's no shame in doing this as well, because while doing this, and then going into Rekka, doesn't get you like a hell of a lot. It gets you a knockdown when you end in shotgun, so it's better than nothing. Yeah, and then you're like closer and on them and stuff like that. Like while you don't get much, the idea is you get more return after the knockdown. So you'll do something like this, and then you'll do a safe jump, not mess it up. You know, if they do a freaking DP like Kai, for example, or a super, you'll be able to block in time, and then you just mix it, and then you can do another mix up once they get off the ground. So you can just keep repeating that. Like the idea is like you want to get in their face so you can just mix their shit up with the Rekka. Like that is your main goal. And as I say, that's like one way to do it. Another way, like I said, is to harass and push them back towards the corner. Obviously, when she's in the corner, she's much stronger. Another way is, like, she's really... her buttons are pretty decent. I've heard some people say her buttons aren't that good, but I think they're pretty good. Like, this can be low profile, but it's like, it's a pretty decent range and stuff like that. Obviously, this is pretty good as well. It's a bit of recovery on it, and it has a second bit, but it doesn't go into it unless you're connecting for some reason. Now, you're not going to be frame trapping anyone with this either, like, because you can't really delay it. A cool buff they could do would be to delay this. So, like, even if I try and delay it, like, if I'm to get, like, a counter hit, it doesn't come out. So the latest I can do, it's still a true string. So, this is mostly just a gaining distance more than anything. It's not even really that useful in combos, if I'm going to be honest. But this is like a block string ender, rather than an actual, like, something you really want to be doing to try and frame jab. But as much as I think she doesn't need many buffs, I think this is something I'd change about her. Like, I'd put a gap between this, like a delayed gap, obviously. I wouldn't put like an involuntary gap, because I think this is pretty good for making distance, which I think is what its intention is. So yeah, these buttons are like pretty decent. This button's really good. Like, most of her mid-range stuff is pretty decent. You kind of when you can't get in on an opponent, you kind of do want to play. You can play comfortably at distance. This can be 6P'd, obviously, but you do want to kind of like keep in bay. This is really good for like countering low pokes and stuff like that. So, or if someone like you knock someone down, and then they try to backdash on you, this is the button you kind of want to do, because it catches backdash, which is pretty decent, and it can go into your 2HS and stuff like that. So, yeah. I don't think she necessarily has a really bad button. Now, this is a good counter string, but I'll get into her block strings in a bit. So these are like her slashes, her heavy slashes. This is one of her best buttons. Now, if you told me, if I told you that this button was safe, I don't think you'd believe me, but this button is safe. See? And it's a really good advancing. It's not that good in a block string, except for in certain circumstances. But if you're going to Rekka, for example, it's not good. But it is good if you're doing something else, which I'll explain in the boxing section. But this bit, this is a really good advancing. It catches like jumps as well sometimes. It has got a bit of recovery, so it's not something you want to throw out all the time. But it is like if they're running away, these are the ones you want to do to like catch a backdash. If you know they're going to backdash, this is the one I'd use. If you think they're going to backdash and you're not sure, this is the one I'd use to kind of like try and get that, because this has a much better counter hit than this. But this is safer, obviously, and you can recover from this much quicker. So, yeah. So, this is only good in like block strings, as I was saying. Yeah, and her kicks, this is not very good. You can do this, but at the furthest range, it whiffs. And there's nothing else Elphelt has to go into. Like, if you try and go into Rekka, off a kick, you get blown up. You can do that, but you'll also get blown up. So kick, I'll be honest, 5k, I don't use it that much. to be quite honest with you. Like, it is, it's probably good, like, maybe, let's even get counter hit in that. And this is obviously, he's doing like 2p, so I generally do not use this. It might be like a situational anti-air, but I think her 6p and her 5p are really good. Like, this is a really good anti-air. I use it all the time. It's pretty decent. Obviously, it whiffs on crouches, so it's not like, you know, a goated like Mei or Giovanna 6p. So keep that in mind. But this is more of a situational anti-air. Obviously, her 6p. I think her 6p is really good. You can get a full combo off of this that takes someone straight to the corner. So Elphelt gets a lot of reward off her 6p. Has a higher hurt box, so you can get low profiled, but most 6Ps in the games can. But her return off this and how big it is, it's fairly decent. This right here, 2p, this is the quickest button, it's 4 frames. This is the one you want to use on defense. It's okay. It's like her defense isn't that great. She has a really unique defensive option, which I'll get into when I talk about her defense, but like overall she's not like got that many good defensive tools. So yeah, this is the matchup one. 2k is a low. Now, I've memed about this a few times. This has not got a very good range. This will whiff in places where you don't think it will, but, you know, it's good that it's a low. So she has that mix-up. So that's something to bear in mind. Alright. Her aerial normals are alright. This is a pretty good air-to-air button. So, yeah, it doesn't see much use outside of that. This as well. I don't really use this at all. So, so this is the air-to-air button I'd go to. Her jumping, you would use this one. 5H. This button's really good for like jumping. This is our main jumping tool. You get like your combos and stuff like that. This is pretty good for stalling, like a jump D. I use this in combos. You should probably try use 5H in combos more, because this will usually break someone straight through the wall because of the free hits on it, but like the JH is probably the button. It's just easier to confirm off of this, so I use it more. And this is a button, jump medium is the button you use to cross ups. So, and you can use it for jump in as well if you want, but yeah, it's mostly just a cross up button. But yeah, the main buttons you really want to be using in the neutral are this one, this one, this one, and I believe that might be it. Oh, Head Dust. Head Dust is, it's okay. It's got a nice amount of range. But yeah, frame traps into Bridal, you know, doesn't go into Rekka. A lot of things don't go into Rekka. You have to learn what goes into Rekka, so I'll get into that in a second. We'll go over our special moves. So you got these guns. This gun is a delayed strike gun. This gun is your immediate one. So this is the one you want to do if you want to hit earlier, like I was saying. This is the one you want to do if you want to delay a strike. But they both move you back. They don't incur negative penalty as far as I'm aware. So you can just do this as much as you want. Obviously negative penalty will eventually happen, but it doesn't save you backdash a lot. So, and you get danger and you go into negative penalty. Some characters have, when moves that move them back like this, like Chaos Orb is one, for example. You'll incur negative penalty much quicker. Elphelt doesn't have that for some reason, so it's a good thing. It allows you to harass more. Let's see, the good things you can do here. So these are there's their two guns, obviously. Just get rid of this, we don't want him doing anything. Obviously you have Rekka. Rekka, I'll go into in a minute, but Rekka has, like, obviously its follow-ups and stuff like that. You have got this one here. This one's really good, but you don't want to rely on this too much. Rekka is so good, so you want to use Rekka more than this. But this is something you can do every now and then in the neutral, just to mix them up. This is also really good for like going over projectiles, or going over low pokes. This button here is amazing for dealing with Slayer's 2H. Like, I used to think the Slayer matchup was really awful, but actually it turns out I was just bad at the game. This move destroys most of Slayer's stuff. So this in itself is one of like Elphelt's best defensive tools as well, because he gets her off the ground. And you'd be amazed at how hard it is for an opponent to deal with this if you do it. If you do it all the time, you do this, the opponent will be able to hit you. But like if you like mix up what you do, where you do something like this, you know, I think it's just something to throw out every now and then, but don't rely on it because it is a gimmick. The way the opponent deals with this is they'll jump up and grab you, but that's how you deal with it. You don't 6p this unless you've got like a gifted 6p like Testament. you shouldn't be 6p in this move. But you can get away with this quite a lot. But like if you've got an opponent who knows how to deal with it, stop doing this. Don't rely on it. You do get a full combo, which is good. Like whereas like they changed it. You know, they changed it. You can obviously get something better than that, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just showing you. You know, you can do stuff with this follow up and stuff. Whereas before, you had to spend meter on the move to get the follow up, but they changed that, made her a bit stronger. So it's a gimmick. Don't rely on it, but it's pretty decent. And then obviously she has Bridle, which I explained earlier. This is just her neutral skip move. Opponents can 6p this if they're expecting it. So if you're using it, don't use it all the time. It's like a whiff punish thing. Whiff punish, or just like every now and then use it to get in. You get a full combo off this. And then you can like follow up and stuff like that. So yeah, she hasn't got that many moves to remember. So she's very easy to kind of like pick up. But now I'll go over the Rekka, just because the Rekka's the most, it's the move with the most like depth, I guess you could say, out of like the rest of her toolkit. And when I say depth, I'm saying that lightly. It's not too hard. It seems harder at first, but it's not that bad. Okay, right. So Rekka, you got one. This is just cause I go back and slash. This is the standard version of Rekka. This is just the start, right? Now it's important you know this is -2. You're incredibly like easy to recover after this. Now, being that it's -2, there's a few things you can do after this. Obviously, you can continue. The idea is that once if opponent knows they've been hit by this, like if they know, then they know that they need to respect whatever happens next. There is nothing you can do about this except for deflect shield or burst. They're the only two, because this is gapless. There's nothing that they can do about that. That once this hits, but this is -2. So obviously you can go high, or obviously you can go low, but you can also grab. You can grab. Because it's -2, you recover so quickly, and the mental stack involved in it, you get to do a grab. Obviously, when she had this move as a grab, obviously you could utilize that after this. You could do this, and you could get a grab. Obviously, they changed that move now. This is a hit grab, not actually a grab, so that's gone. But you still have the application with this. Now, be in mind, an opponent can FD you out while they're doing this. So you can whiff. If I can find FD. So you try and grab. So if they are FDing, like say you do your string, you will miss. So, I mean, I don't know what point you are at your play right now, whoever's watching this, but like if you are trying to, if you might not be at a point where you can notice FD yet, you know. But if you notice they're FDing, don't go for the grab, because you will get blown up for it. So if that's happening, you want to continue with your string. So just something to bear in mind. So you can grab. That's one of your options. You can go high, and then you can go low. Right. Now this is unsafe. This is like it's like -8. So you don't want to stop at any point. And this is, I don't know what this is, but this is also, basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, no matter how you end the Rekka string, with the highs and the lows and stuff like that, you will always be punished. So if you're going to do Rekka double overhead, sorry, then you need to make sure you have meter to continue the combo. If you're going to do Rekka, and you're going to do an unsafe ender, like 2 overheads, for example, or low, but finish like that, make sure you got meter to spend. Don't leave it, because you'll get blown up. Like every single one leaves you right in their face with a fat combo, providing they didn't FD at this point. If they FD, then they'll be able to get a combo, but it won't be as good as like a close slash slot. They didn't get a close slash slaughter if you finish this in their face. So remember that. You always need that. Well, obviously you don't have to end the combo like that. You can safely end the combo at any point by doing shotgun. I think it leaves you -4 and it pushes you back. There's nothing they can do about it. It's really, really good. Part of the reasons why Rekka is so oppressive is because she gets access to, multiple 50-50s. and I messed up there, but you can make it safe at the end. So you can just literally spend a whole tension bar and completely like keep herself safe right after the fact. So it's very, very strong. Obviously, it's designed to be broken because her neutral game isn't that amazing. You have to play very specific against certain characters in the cast with her neutral game. So the Wrecker is designed to be this good. So a lot of people call it broken because it is. But if they changed her from this, they'd probably make a neutral thing, but they'd probably make the Wrecker worse. I don't know how they'd make it worse, but they'd do something. They'd probably slow it down, put gaps in between it, or something to that degree. I'm not 100% sure what they do, but it isn't without. You can defeat the move. It's not an unbeatable move. It's just annoying to deal with. Another thing to do, to know is if you keep pressing slash, Elphelt will infinitely loop this. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, and it will crank up risk. Sometimes you'll get Elphelts to just do this to you. I don't tend to do it too much because higher opponents will, like, they're pretty good at dealing with it. The way you deal with this is either like 6p or just do a 5p, like just knock her off. So she can get it. But the idea is, if you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the overhead, and then she's gonna go low maybe. But you know, you can go overhead, reset, overhead, reset, overhead, reset, low, low, meter. Overhead, overhead, overhead. You know, do you get the idea? It's just like, you have, at first this feels like very confusing when you're doing it. But once you get used to it, it isn't too bad. Like, once you're playing as Elphelt, like, you just gotta go in the, training mode, just do overhead, just do what I did there. Overhead, 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 low. Just muck about with it until you feel comfortable knowing what's what. And just remember, no matter what you do, always keep yourself safe in the end. You know, just if you haven't got any meters to do it, don't risk a low here. Just go overhead, bam. You know, they guess right. You know, they survive the impossible. Just let them out. Like, don't try and do it. If you got meter, I don't think there's anything wrong. Maybe don't spend the whole bar, like I just did. Unless you got positive. If you've got positive bonus, go wild. Don't stop. But like, if you haven't got positive bonus, I'd make sure you keep one bar. Just cause, like, you know, if they've survived 2 mix-ups in a row, which has happened to me before, it's rare. But you know, it's not worth spending a whole bar, like, wasting it, because, like I said, even though you get like a preferable situation at the end of this, late game when you have a whole bar, you don't really want to be spending a whole meter. Even though you get like a good like setup of this, you don't want to like spending a whole meter for like, well, like 1/3 of a bar, even less than that. It's not, mate, it's 1/4 of a bar. Obviously, you can get a much better combo than I just did. See, that's a good setup because that like is a frame trap right there. Meaty, sorry, like a perfect meaty, but still, like late game, you might need that meter to do like a super ending kill. Since this move's been buffed, you don't actually want to do this through the wall unless it's gonna kill now. Like, if it's not gonna kill, always do this through the wall, which I'll get into in a bit when I talk about the supers. Like, but yeah, but that's her Wrecker basically. It really is just like, you just gotta learn it, and then just kind of like build off it on there. But it is you just gotta muck around with it a little bit. But yeah, the Wrecker's pretty decent. One move I forgot to go over is a 6HS. This move is very slow. It's easy to deal with, but you kind of want to, if you're in this part of the screen, like you have this, it's usually better in the corner. It is something to throw out every now and then, just to throw your opponent off. It's really good for catching them trying to jump out the corner. This move was in Rev 2 as well, and it was kind of used the same way. Like, this is the move you kind of want to do, but just remember you got it. It's mostly combo filler, but this is the best, like, her best combo starter pretty much. And then you can probably get a better end, but like you can pretty much net 50 with that. Obviously, I'll get into combos when I get to them, but yeah, that's it's a pretty decent button to use every now and then. Don't make it a crutch, but I thought I'd bring it up. Right, so the reason why 2HS is bad in a string is because of this. See, the opponent can 6p straight through it, like that. So this is not something you really want to rely on as Elphelt. If you see an Elphelt player doing this, if you're not going to grab them, you can 6p him if they try and go into Rekka. So if you are playing as the against Elphelt and you see the close slash into 2HS and you didn't grab it, you can 6p the next part, because that's how you beat the move. So Rekka is designed to be bad to go into. So if you go low, gets beaten by 6p. You go from close slash, gets beaten by 6p. Blah, 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 blah. 6p beats it, right? Okay, so that's the thing you kind of need to learn. Rekka hard to get into, essentially. Now, the way you get into Rekka, as an Elphelt player, you go close slash into that. This is a 1 frame gap, as far as I'm aware. So the only way that Kai or an opponent can deal with it is use an invincible move. So some characters that have no invincible moves can't go into Rekka. So if you're doing this, the opponent has to respect it. See, even 2HS doesn't work, so they have to respect it if you're doing this. If you spent meter, then you can do this like gapless, but there is no way to do it gapless normally, like as I was saying. So you go close slash into this, and there you go, like that. And that's how you get into your Rekka. This is like the best way to get into Rekka pressure. Obviously, you can do this as well. This is another good one. But obviously, you typically wouldn't do this. So you'll get 6p'd if you try to do this. Because like I said, there's no safe way to go into 6HS. So it's anything that has like a high attack level. And the only ones that do are this. See, that doesn't even do it. This and this. So they're the ones you kind of want to do. Unless you're doing it with meter. That's the ways to do it. So, but it's not too bad. Obviously, a lot of opponents don't know what to do when you're in this situation. So typically they do start mashing. So it's something to kind of bear in mind. But one thing you kind of want to do when you're starting out with Elphelt, you want to kind of start this string. You want to do close slash 2S into this. Sorry, not into that. You want to do this. You want to go close slash 2S. And then just do that. So you've baited a good amount of distance, right? From this distance, you've recovered in time, so you can 6p them if they come up. You can stop them from approaching like this. Like you've got a lot of good things here. Or you can just wait and block. You know, this is a good place to kind of be. Sometimes I end the string with this. Now, you won't get much damage off this, but it pushes them even further back. And if they mash, it will hit them. Now, some characters can super through this. Like Kyle, he can super through this, I'm pretty sure, with Ride the Lightning, so it isn't foolproof. But it is something that they can do, so it's not completely foolproof. If they start doing that, then just be aware of it. So the reason why this is good, one thing an opponent can do about this, sorry. So they can 6p through this bit, but the way you beat this is you go to 2HS. So that's kind of like what you got to do. So if you notice the opponent's starting to, they probably can't do much of this. You know, oh, they're mashing 6p through my gun, through my bullet, which makes no sense. You beat it by doing 2HS. So this is the second block string you kind of want to throw out. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes it is good to do this. It's just not good to rely on this. It's just not good to go and Rekka in this. Because obviously you go, bam. You know, obviously from this distance, I'm fairly certain he can just 6p you out of this. Yeah. So, the science of it. These are the two strings you kind of want to start with. You know, you want to do the standard one I just said. And then push him. If he starts 6ping you, then you want to do the 2HS. And then you get your combo. And Bob's your uncle. So they are basically the two strings you want to start with. You don't want to really be doing anything else too much. So, and obviously, Rekka, into Rekka. So they're her like main 3 block strings, I'd say. So Rekka start, beating 6Ps, and obviously just the standard pushback one. And finally, another thing you can do when your opponent is like really like, you know, they say they're used to this, or they're used to this, you know, they're just blocking, or you're going into Rekka successfully. Ideally, every time you want to go into Rekka. but obviously sometimes you might not want to. Sometimes you might want to build the meter up and get pushed back and then just start harassing them. So it's just like knowing what to do. But sometimes you can do this. Very rare though. Don't make this, like I said at the beginning, don't make this your main thing. You want to show, if you've got an opponent who's just like really reluctant to do anything, or you can't mix them up, just throw this out every now and then, because you do get, you can catch them off guard with it. It can steal rounds, so it's something to kind of bear in mind. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go over is kind of like safe jumps. Elphelt's only got, she's probably got a few, but the one I use, she's got the grab one. But I tend to just do this off any knockdown. So something you can kind of do. This is obviously, it recovers so fast, like I was saying. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. So you can just jump up. Do that, you know. Obviously she has this as well. This is like one of her main safe jumps she can do, of like just say a standard, just do a standard combo interaction, get hard knockdown, and then get your combo, you know. Right, I'm gonna go over Oki now, and what you can kind of do like boxing enders. Like she can get safe jumps quite reliably, and she can end Oki quite well. So one thing you do after throws is you just do this. If you think you're going to do that, you can do that. And then you get your full combo that way. You can obviously do the standard, you know, jump, whatever, you know, Bob's your uncle, run in. See, this works both ways. Do this. You can block that way as well. I messed up there, but there's another way of doing it. When you do this, you don't want to, when you do this, you don't actually want to like press any buttons on the way down. You just want to hold back. And then you can move forward, but the timing is a little bit strict. I messed up there, but like you can move up, so that's something to kind of like consider. Off like a standard combo as well, you can kind of do this, do that, and then go up. Sweet, nice and easy. You know, do this, just move in. Obviously, if you don't think they're gonna, like, if they stop mashing and then they're like gonna start like trying to throw you and stuff like that, you can then just do stuff like this. OTG, and then you get a, if they're doing a button mashing on wake up, this should eat it up. So you can like stop them and go put them straight through the wall. And that works for mashing as well, like if they're mashing a button. Yeah, you just gotta delay it ever so slightly, otherwise you'll whiff straight through their head. But yeah, that's kind of like the best thing to evoke it. Obviously in the corner you can also do this as well. You can end the combo like this. You gotta time it a little bit better. And then you can just like put them through the corner that way. So that's something to kind of bear in mind as well. This is like good. You don't want to like continuously always do the same thing. You can just do this as well. This is another good one. Throw them down, mash, and then providing you timed it correctly, just delay it, you get your thing. And even if they're like mashing through that, they can still get blown up for doing it. So it's not like the throw is the only option. You just gotta make sure you delay it ever so slightly. Which gets into my next bit, which is what you want to do next. If you're hot me in the corner, always go into this. You always get a hard knockdown on this. The timer on this just recently got nerfed, so it's nowhere near as strong as it used to be. But the idea of this is like, you push them through the wall when you're like right by the corner. This is the super you always want to be putting them through the wall with. Now, you don't get a safe jump off this, unfortunately, otherwise it would be very broken. I'm pretty sure, actually no wait, I'm pretty sure you can get a safe jump on Kai's, but most characters in the game you can't get a safe jump on anything. Kai's super is specifically, DP is specifically quite bad in terms of timing, but example like Ride the Lightning will eat straight through this. See, there's nothing you can do about it. So, I mean, obviously, yeah, he still gets blown up, but that could like end your round. So, what you do instead is stuff like this. So, if he's got meter, flip over his head, and if you're quick enough, you can get a combo. So I was quite slow in that regard. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do if you think they're going to do that is literally just this. Now, the reason you want to do that is because you get another hard knockdown. So he's going to do that. You get an I'll try to show you with this. You get another hard knockdown when this explosion goes off. Just turn this off now, so he doesn't do it again. Right, look, I missed him. But yeah, you get another hard knockdown when this goes down. So you get 2 hard knockdowns. It's completely busted, you know. And you'd be surprised at how many people in this game don't respect this. Like, once this is on you, like, you need to respect this as far as I'm... Like, you are in checkmate position. And Elphelt's in positive bonus in this situation. So, in this situation, you can literally loop this. It's actually kind of insane. So you should run up. Elphelt's so fast, you should run up. Hit your meaty on him. Messed up. Then you just put it on him again. And then you repeat the process. And you can just do this forever. By the time you go up, you'll probably get the kill. They'll go in again, positive mode again, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, obviously I forgot to put the thing on, but you got always just, you could just loop this situation like infinitely if the opponent won't respect it. Like that, you just do that. And then by the time you run up and do it to him again... Yeah, I messed up, but the point is you could just continuously keep looping that situation until they die if they don't respect it. Now you need to know what sets this off. There's a few things that set this off. Any of the wreckers, so top wrecker, and then if they block, say they're blocking standing, but they're blocking standing, right? Wrecker, boom. So if you do the mix up on them, this makes the mix up more potent. Because, and that works for the low as well, obviously. Just to show you the example. Say he's crouching, and we guard, and he is not allowed to switch. Put him on the ground. There you go. So, and then the bomb activates when the overhead lands. So obviously it turned to like 50-50 game into like an absolute nightmare. Like for the opponent. Another thing that sets it off is grab. So you run up and get a throw. But you don't get the, you only get a hard knockdown in that situation. But if you're near the corner, I'm pretty sure the explosion will send him straight through. Anything with a gun, essentially. So that one sets it off. It's like kind of how Pineberry worked in the last game. That one sets it off. But see, like this normal one set it off, this normal one set it off. It has to be something involving the gun or this. So, but you always get your hard knockdown after. This is something to bear in mind, but the idea is like when you put them through the wall, you want to like be using, you want to be like running up, and you want to do that, get your combo, and then your hunky-dory repeat. But yeah, this is the one you want. Her other super is really slow. It's good for like good for invincible reversals, but that's it. It's useless in pretty much every other way. It's good for like closing out rounds, and you can do it from your Wrecker series. It's better to do it from the overhead version because it's a multi-hit, so it's just easier to kind of like use your hit confirm it. But yeah, this was the optimal way to end combos last game. Because putting this through the wall, it would still get your hard knockdown, but obviously it wouldn't stay on him like a bomb vest like it does now. So and it used to be a command grab. So it was. I still used it before, but it's much better now than it used to be. It's probably the best super in the game, or post wall break super at the very least. All right, and honestly, that pretty much covers it. I'll just do the combos now and show you kind of like ones you kind of want to start out with. But yeah, she is like very beginner friendly, easy to pick up. You can probably like follow this guide and you can like learn her like within like a few days. You probably get kills. You probably get wins online within the same day of watching this. So it's that simple to play her. So I'll just go over like a very basic set of combos that I kind of do, but she's very easy to kind of play, so you can kind of really do anything. But this is like a B&B I kind of use. You know, and then you get your meaty, so that's like a stand one. I didn't mention it, but she has Red Wild Assault, and she benefits from this very well. So from like this before would be like this could be like what she'd do, and this is not terrible. Like you get a meaty off that as well, off bridle, but you can get wall break. Yeah, you can get wall break off that. You don't get much damage. You do want to end in your bomb if you can. Because then you get your mix up and stuff like that, which is obviously what you really want to aim for. So just bear that in mind. She can obviously do this as well. Like, one of her greatest skills is taking people to the corner off like most confirms. So you can use the Red Wild Assault if you can, you know, and then try and like get in. But yeah, so they're like these are like mid-screen things you can kind of do. So you don't have to accept this. You can literally go into this, like I was saying. Obviously, yeah, this is one B&B you can do. Another one you can do is this. Off counter hit, close slash. You can do this. Go into bomb. Just make sure you're always going into bomb if you have it. It really is ideal. Obviously you got this one. Now the reason you want to end up low on that combo is literally just because if I did the overhead, you can't land the bomb because it's 3 hits. So that's something to bear in mind if you want to land into this. So that's something to bear in mind. One thing which I think is good to show is her anti-air combo, because she has a pretty decent one. So if they jump at you, you just do this. And then obviously you want to break into the super like usual, which I didn't. Now the reason why this is decent is because even if they aren't like hit, even if you don't get a counter hit, you're very much like in a good position. Like it puts you right on top of them. You know, so you should just do the flip no matter how you do it. Yeah, obviously you can do this as well. That is something else you can do, but I think the flip is like the best thing. So you can get like a full combo on the mid screen. Like her anti-air is really, really good because of the return. But just make sure you're going into this, you know, so you get the most out of it. And obviously like the bomb combo that I've been doing, I've shown it a few times, but it's literally just that sets the bomb off. Like this. That sets the bomb. And then set another bomb. And that's literally the loop you want to do. It's just remember that this part of the combo causes the explosion. You know, don't get confused. Like if you notice they're not blocking, and then you try go to the follow up, the combo will drop, and you still get a hard knockdown, but it's obviously not as ideal. But yeah, that's pretty much Elphelt, to be honest. That is everything I do to player, and I think I'm pretty competent with the character. So just take these lessons and basically utilize them to the best of your ability. Obviously, if there's anything you think I missed, you can just put it in the comments, and then I'll address it. But yeah, that's it. Obviously, the next character I'm going to play is Abba. I had in playing her, but I took a bit of a break. So I'll be going on her soon. But yeah, until then, take care.